The San Francisco 49ers are gearing up for their second preseason matchup against the Raiders, and expectations are high as some of the team's key starters are set to hit the field. Quarterback Brock Purdy will be leading the charge, and the team is looking to shake off some of the uncertainties that have hovered over their roster during training camp. The preseason is always a critical period, not just for getting into game shape, but for testing the depth of the squad and evaluating which players will step up when it really counts. This year, the 49ers storyline is dominated by a mix of contract questions, injuries, and breakout potential, particularly at the wide receiver position. Jauan Jennings remains a central figure in those conversations. Heading into the final year of his contract, there's been significant chatter about whether the team will offer him a new deal or let him prove his worth one more season. The 49ers have been cautious, and with good reason. Jennings' breakout last year, where he racked up 975 receiving yards, came after a combination of injuries to other players' open opportunities for him. Before that, he had never surpassed 500 yards in a season, and the team seems to want to ensure that his performance wasn't a one-year anomaly. While it's clear that Jennings has outperformed his previous contracts and shown he can be clutch when it matters most, San Francisco appears to be taking a measured approach, balancing their willingness to reward talent with the need to protect their salary cap. The team's hesitation also stems from past experiences. Deals for wide receivers who earn big money after just one standout season have not always worked out. Brandon Ayuk, for instance, produced back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons and proved himself as a dependable number 2 receiver. But the organization has learned lessons from contracts gone wrong and injuries that derail plans. There's a sense of caution now, a desire to see consistent production and health before committing to a long-term, high-dollar deal. With Jennings recovering from a calf injury that was aggravated in the spring, the 49ers are being especially careful. Calf injuries can be tricky, and rushing a player back too quickly can have disastrous consequences. Jennings has been seen in the training room in Las Vegas, getting work done on his leg, signaling that he is close to returning, but the team likely wants to ensure he can stay healthy before making any long-term financial commitments. Meanwhile, other players in the receiver room are stepping up in intriguing ways. Jacob Cowing, for example, returned to practice after an off-season injury but has shown remarkable preparation and growth. Known for his speed and agility, Cowing has the potential to be a gadget player, capable of taking screens, reverses, and cross-field plays deep into enemy territory. His college production suggested he could handle an increased level of competition, and now the 49ers are looking for ways to leverage his versatility without risking another setback. Hamstring injuries have kept him sidelined, but fans are hoping to see glimpses of his skill in the upcoming preseason games, though caution remains the priority. On the defensive side, Renardo Green is positioned as the starting outside corner opposite of DeMarcus Lawrence, and he has been showing promise in practice. Despite some setbacks in spring sessions, Green's performance in his rotational role last year demonstrated his ability to handle pressure and make key plays. Injuries have been a recurring theme across the roster, but Green's talent and athleticism offer a stabilizing presence as the 49ers navigate the uncertainty of preseason. The quarterback-receiver connection remains a focal point, and Brock Purdy's reliability in high-pressure situations give the team confidence as they explore options for Week 1 starters. Russell Gage, returning from previous injuries, has had a productive training camp and could see significant playing time early in the season, especially given uncertainties with other receivers like Brandon Ayuk, Jauan Jennings, and Jacob Cowing. Gage's ability to stay healthy and contribute immediately could make him a key piece in the opening games, and his affordability only increases the value he brings to the roster. The 49ers' approach to roster construction has also been influenced by their new training staff. Practices under Kyle Shanahan have always been physically demanding, designed to wear down opponents and prepare the team for the grind of a long season. However, the combination of this physical style and a historically high injury rate has prompted questions about whether adjustments are needed to preserve player health. Managing key contributors like Christian McCaffrey becomes essential, especially given his history of injuries and the wear and tear that comes with his workload. The team must find a balance between leveraging his elite talent and keeping him fresh for a potential playoff push. McCaffrey's usage in creative ways, such as split-back formations or decoy roles, allows the 49ers to maintain a high-powered offense while mitigating risk to one of their most valuable players. Special teams considerations also play a critical role in preseason evaluations. Kickers, return specialists, and depth at wide receiver are all being scrutinized as the 49ers finalize their initial 53-man roster. The team has options to elevate players from the practice squad on game days, which offers flexibility, but every decision carries weight, particularly when considering suspensions or injuries that could impact availability. Players like Demarcus Robinson, Russell Gage, and Jauan Jennings are all part of a delicate balancing act as the team prepares for the regular season. With all this in mind, the narrative for the 49ers heading into preseason Game 2 against the Raiders is layered and complex. Injuries, contract situations, and emerging talent all intersect to create a high-stakes environment, and fans are eager to see how the team navigates these challenges. The preseason is about more than just wins and losses. It's about positioning the team for a successful campaign, ensuring key players are healthy, and evaluating how new or recovering talent can contribute to the overall strategy. The decisions made now will echo throughout the season, impacting depth, performance, and the long-term trajectory of the team. As the 49ers continue their preseason journey, attention increasingly shifts to the wide receiver room and the intricate chess game of opportunities, rotations, and emerging stars. The competition is fierce, and each practice session is a proving ground where small differences can determine who sees the field on game day and who remains on the sidelines. Jauan Jennings, returning from his calf injury, faces not just the physical challenge of regaining full speed and confidence, but also the psychological pressure of proving that his previous breakout season wasn't a fluke. In football, consistency is currency, and the 49ers management is acutely aware that while talent can win games, availability and reliability win seasons. Jennings' route running, ability to separate from defenders, and knack for finding soft spots in zone coverage are all under scrutiny. Every cut, every burst, every time to leap into the end zone counts, especially against defensive backs who are equally motivated to make their mark in preseason matchups. Jacob Cowing, still nursing his hamstring, has become one of the team's most intriguing developmental stories. Coaches have expressed cautious optimism about his ability to provide a different dynamic compared to traditional possession receivers. His game is built on speed, quick reads, and an instinct for turning short gains into explosive plays. During spring sessions, when fully healthy, Cowing flashed glimpses of the kind of playmaking ability that could alter the 49ers' offensive schemes. His ability to stretch defenses vertically creates matchup problems, forcing opponents to respect both the deep threat and the underneath options. Even in limited repetitions, defensive coordinators take notice when a receiver demonstrates a knack for turning small openings into large chunks of yardage. Cowing's versatility also gives Kyle Shanahan's offense the flexibility to experiment with motion, stack formations, and empty sets without compromising balance. Meanwhile, Russell Gage has quietly become a stabilizing factor in the receiving corps. After suffering injuries in previous seasons, his return to full health has been methodical. Gage's ability to read defenses, adjust routes on the fly, and find open space between linebackers and safeties makes him a reliable option for Brock Purdy. The quarterback-receiver chemistry is subtle but significant. Timing routes, anticipation, and mutual trust take months to cultivate, and preseason is the stage to refine these nuances. Gage's value is further enhanced by his versatility. He can line up in the slot, outside, or even contribute on special teams, which increases his relevance in roster decisions. In a season where injuries are inevitable, having a player who can seamlessly shift roles without losing effectiveness is a tremendous asset. The quarterback position itself is central to this discussion. Brock Purdy's growth over his first full season as a starter has instilled confidence, but defenses know him better now, and adjustments must be made continuously. Purdy's accuracy, decision-making, and ability to maintain composure under pressure are tested not only by opposing defenses, but also by his own receiving core. Preseason matchups, like the one against the Raiders, offer a controlled environment to refine timing, test new route concepts, and assess the readiness of younger players. Purdy's mental game, reading coverages, anticipating movement, and delivering the ball with precision, is every bit as critical as his physical execution. The synergy between quarterback and receiver is delicate. Miscommunication can lead to turnovers, while perfect alignment can turn routine plays into explosive gains. Every snap in preseason becomes a small laboratory experiment, providing insights that shape both immediate strategy and long-term roster planning. Behind the starters, the depth chart presents its own drama. Undrafted players, practice squad hopefuls, and veterans returning from injury all compete fiercely for limited spots. In the 49ers system, where versatility is prized and injuries are always a looming concern, these secondary players are more than placeholders. They are potential difference makers. Training camp has seen breakout moments from previously under-the-radar players who may force coaches to reconsider initial assumptions. These players often have a chip on their shoulder, driven to outperform expectations and secure a roster spot that could define the next several years of their careers. Defensively, the 49ers face their own challenges. Renardo Green, lined up as a starting outside corner, must navigate the physicality and speed of opposing receivers while managing his own injury history. His ability to cover elite talent in man-to-man situations, read quarterback eyes, and react instinctively to route adjustments will be critical in shaping early-season defensive outcomes. The team's secondary has been under pressure in training camp due to injuries, forcing younger players into situations where they must accelerate their development. Coaches emphasize communication, positional discipline, and anticipation to compensate for any physical limitations, and every practice rep is a test of both preparation and mental acuity. Special teams, often overlooked by casual observers, can swing momentum dramatically. Kickers and return specialists are evaluated not just on power or speed, but on consistency, decision-making, and situational awareness. The 49ers' approach to special teams has evolved to emphasize reliability, minimizing mistakes while maximizing field position opportunities. For a team like San Francisco, where every inch matters in tight games, a successful kickoff return or well-placed punt can be just as valuable as a touchdown drive. These nuances become magnified in the preseason, where rookies and backups must prove they can execute under pressure while knowing that a single misstep could cost them a roster spot. In the broader context of the 49ers season, every decision made in these early weeks has ripple effects. Injury management, workload distribution, and contract considerations intertwine, creating a complex web of strategic choices. Christian McCaffrey, the team's workhorse, is a prime example. His ability to impact the game in multiple phases, rushing, receiving, blocking, makes him indispensable, but his previous injury history mandates careful monitoring. Balancing his explosive skill set with long-term durability is a priority, and coaches must decide how much to lean on him in preseason matchups without compromising his availability for regular season games. The interplay between McCaffrey's utilization and the development of younger skill players like Jennings, Gage, and Cowing is delicate. Distributing opportunities appropriately ensures that the offense remains potent while preparing for contingencies. Kyle Shanahan's offensive philosophy relies heavily on timing, pre-snap motion, and the ability to exploit mismatches. The wide receiver room is the engine that drives this system. When players like Jennings and Cowing execute precise routes, maintain separation, and understand defensive tendencies, the entire offense benefits. Missteps, even minor ones, can disrupt rhythm, limit options, and force the quarterback into uncomfortable situations. Preseason is therefore not just a testing ground for individual talent, but a rehearsal for the integrated choreography required in real games. The coaching staff monitors every detail, from foot placement to hand positioning to subtle route adjustments, ensuring that when the lights of regular season play shine brightest, the execution is flawless. In an unexpected twist that has sent shockwaves across the NFL landscape, rumors are swirling that Aaron Donald, widely regarded as one of the most dominant defensive forces of his generation, has reached an agreement to join the San Francisco 49ers. While no official confirmation has yet emerged from either the player's camp or the franchise, whispers from league insiders suggest that this potential signing could be finalized within days. Donald, who spent his entire professional career with the Los Angeles Rams, has been the heart and soul of their defense, terrorizing quarterbacks and dismantling offensive lines with an unmatched blend of power, speed, and technical precision. The idea of him now wearing the scarlet and gold of a division rival has left fans and analysts stunned, with many speculating on the behind-the-scenes negotiations that might have led to this stunning possibility. Sources close to the situation hint that the 49ers, already boasting one of the league's most feared defensive fronts, view Donald as the final piece in a puzzle that could catapult them to Super Bowl contention. If true, the move would not only reshape the balance of power in the NFC West, but also ignite one of the most intense defensive line pairings in recent memory. For the 49ers, this rumored acquisition represents more than just adding a marquee name. It symbolizes an aggressive, win-now approach that could have profound implications for the team's future. San Francisco's defensive line is already anchored by Nick Bosa, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, whose relentless pass rush has terrorized opponents. Pairing him with Donald, a three-time Defensive Player of the Year himself, would give the 49ers a nightmare-inducing tandem capable of collapsing pockets in mere seconds. The potential synergy between the two is tantalizing for fans and terrifying for offensive coordinators, who would face the near-impossible task of designing blocking schemes against such overwhelming force. Analysts speculate that this move could force rival teams to reconfigure their entire offensive game plans, emphasizing quicker throws and heavier protection packages. Yet beyond the X's and O's, there is an undeniable psychological factor. Simply knowing Donald is on the other side of the line changes the confidence of any quarterback. In a league where inches determine games and momentum shifts in a heartbeat, this rumored signing could tilt the scales firmly in the 49ers' favor, particularly in high-stakes playoff matchups where defensive dominance often decides the outcome. The whispers surrounding Donald's potential shift to the Bay Area have sparked an avalanche of speculation about what may have motivated such a dramatic move. Some insiders suggest that Donald, now in the later stages of his career, is seeking a fresh challenge and a chance to add another championship to his resume before retirement. Others believe the Rams' recent roster changes and cap space limitations may have pushed the two sides toward an inevitable parting, despite years of mutual respect and success. If true, joining the 49ers would offer Donald an immediate path to contention, given San Francisco's consistent presence in the playoff picture and their deep, talent-rich roster. It's also worth noting that the 49ers defensive coordinator, Steve Wilks, has a reputation for maximizing elite talent and could design specialized schemes to exploit Donald's versatility. From interior bull rushes to creative stunts, Donald's impact could ripple through every defensive snap. While some skeptics question whether this is merely an off-season rumor amplified by social media, the timing, just ahead of training camp, feels suspiciously strategic. Whether truth or smoke, the thought of Donald in a 49ers uniform has already reshaped conversations about NFC supremacy and has fans across the league watching with bated breath. What adds further intrigue to this unfolding story is the potential ripple effect across the NFC West. Should Donald indeed land in San Francisco, the division's power dynamics could undergo a seismic shift. The Rams, still retooling after their Super Bowl run, would face the painful reality of seeing their former defensive cornerstone wreak havoc twice a year against them. Meanwhile, the Seattle Seahawks and Arizona Cardinals would need to adjust their strategies dramatically, perhaps making offensive line reinforcements an urgent priority. The 49ers, long known for their physical, bruising style of play, would double down on their identity, effectively daring opponents to beat them in the trenches. Social media has already erupted with speculative depth charts, bold predictions, and even mock-up images of Donald in a 49ers jersey, fueling the buzz further. For younger players on the roster, the arrival of such a decorated veteran could be both inspiring and educational, providing daily lessons in work ethic, preparation, and technique. And for 49ers faithful, the prospect of seeing Donald charge out of the Levi's Stadium tunnel on Sundays represents more than just excitement. It feels like the missing ingredient in a championship recipe years in the making. As the days pass without an official statement, anticipation continues to build, with fans dissecting every cryptic post and casual remark from both Donald and key 49ers personnel. Training camp looms, and the absence or presence of Donald in Santa Clara could confirm or crush the swirling speculation. The media frenzy has grown to the point where even unrelated 49ers transactions are being scrutinized for hidden meaning, with some analysts theorizing that minor roster moves are a prelude to creating cap space for a blockbuster announcement. Donald himself has remained tight-lipped, which only amplifies the sense of mystery, while his former Rams teammates have offered carefully worded comments that neither confirm nor deny the rumors. If this deal materializes, it would not only mark one of the most shocking free agent moves in recent memory, but also redefine how the league perceives the 49ers' Super Bowl aspirations. For now, the NFL world waits, balancing on a knife's edge between speculation and confirmation, knowing that if Aaron Donald does indeed sign with San Francisco, the reverberations will be felt far beyond the borders of the NFC West, potentially altering the trajectory of the entire upcoming season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.